Hello and welcome to this week's vlog.
Hiya.
Hello. Thank you to all you new subscribers,
Thank
likers and commenters. Lots of comments. We love your comments. Yes, thanks for all your comments.
More.
Yeah. In fact, you'll probably be commenting about this next topic that we're going to be talking about in today's vlog. As you know, we're not cruising at the moment. It is extremely windy out of there.
Yeah, we're moving. We're not cruising, but we're moving.
We are. The boat is moving, literally. If I said to you NEBO, what would you say? NEBO.
What does it mean?
Do you mean what does it stand for? Perhaps?
What does it stand for?
NEBO, Narrowboaters Extreme Boating Operation.
No.
No, it doesn't. No.
Leave that to the experts.
We'll let the person who invented NEBO tell you all about it. But it is a new app that's available. Now, before we go any further, I know what some of you are going to say. Oh, you were paid loads of money or you were given freebies. No, we weren't given any money, no financial inducements, nothing. We just happened to know the man who, I was going to say invented it, the man who developed it through another friend of ours who said, have you seen this particular app? It will help you plot your routes. I went, really? Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with my routes, look.
Go on.
I haven't got any. He means boating routes, of course. Now, we know, and lots of you out there will know, of the fantastic Canal Plan AC, which helps you plot a route from A to B. Nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, NEBO is not like that, except it does give you distances and calculates the distance you've actually travelled. But because it works on GPS, it's more accurate in terms of giving you data. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what do I need one of them for, Tony? It's more technology. We do a daily log, and you'll probably have something like this. Other ones are available. We just happened to like that one because it said 100-day log. It had lots of pages in it, and you can fill out your daily log. Yep, like we've done there. Nothing, no secrets to hide. Tells you where you've started, weather, etc, etc.
How much you've spent in the pub.
Yeah. That's an additional stuff. That's nothing to do with the boat, is it? But it's mainly technical stuff, really, about your travels. You know, how far you've travelled, which way you've travelled, how long it's taken you, and what average speed you've been doing.
And to be truthful, I was filling it in.
Yeah.
And as you can see,
I
got fed up doing it.
A few days later, you got fed up doing it.
I got fed up doing it. I used to forget to do it, and then you'd forget the information that you should be putting down. Yeah. So that's where I was quite happy when NEBO came along.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I do on a regular basis when we are cruising is this little black book.
Oh.
No, it's not got my girlfriend's phone numbers in.
Well, that'll be blank then.
Yeah. This has got the engine hours. And I keep all my information about engine hours in there. I don't need to show you details because it's just figures. And I will include what 3 words details about where we happen to be mooring. So in case of emergencies or anybody wants to contact us, they know where to find us, like shopping deliveries and stuff like that. But it's essentially, NEBO can combine both of those written formats and save you writing out tons and reams of paper and wasting lots of ink. So without any further ado, as I love to say at this point, instead of me blabbing on to you here, why don't I demonstrate to you what NEBO's all about? And eventually I'll have a hookup to Australia to meet with Stephen Winter, who is the man behind NEBO. Wouldn't it be great if we didn't have to write anything down and we could cruise at the start of the day or whenever, and a little app would be running in the background, and then we'd finish cruising, we could switch the engine off, stop the app, and minutes later it would email you a PDF picture of your route, including all the times, start time and finish time. Well, essentially, that's the basis behind NEBO. There are a lot more other things as well that it does, but that's essentially the basis of why it was developed in the first place. So whilst I've got the laptop here in front of me, why don't we just have a look, and I'll show you how to download it, what it looks like, and some of the basic things that you can do with it. First thing you'll want to do is download the app. Fairly straightforward. Go to wherever it is you get your apps from. On the search bar, type in NEBO, N-E-B-O. I'll explain why it's called NEBO later. And first thing you'll see is there's something called notes and PDFs and annotations. Now scroll down until you come to NEBO Boat Login Made Easy, and there we see Neo Global, and the little icon is a little boat with a sort of like, well, I don't know what you call that. Anyway, we click on there. Now I've already got it installed on the phone, so don't need to install it, but I can open it from here. There we go. Okay, so here we are. This is us. Obviously I've filled in all the information. I'll show you that in a second. But here we are, the boat. We've stopped. Well, obviously we're in the marina. We're at Brinklow, and here is Brinklow Marina. Here's our exact location using the proper geographical 50 degrees north, 24 degrees south, etc. And a few details about the boat, our boat. If I click on there, you can see, I don't know why there's got two boats. We're not that greedy, we've only got the one, and a couple of our friends who are nearby on neighbouring pontoons. So the first thing, this is the first screen you're going to get loaded with. Hopefully it will find your location, but obviously it won't know anything about your boat. So the first thing you're going to do is put in some information about you and your boat. You go down to Other in the bottom right hand corner, and you'll need to set your profile. So up here we've got a menu of 4 things, profile being the first one, and then we've got a sub menu, my profile. So there we go. So who are you? Tony Lacey, an email address and a photograph, so people recognize who you are, because you can search for your friends and you can search for boat names and people's names, and you would need to know somebody's first name and last name to be able to search them, unless they're already in your contacts file. That could be Facebook or on your phone. So put all that information in, and there's your profile done. We'll go back. So then you're going to want to put in information about your boat. This is why I've probably got 2 boats, I think. I don't know why. But if we go over here, you'll fill all this in as you go. So obviously all of this will be blank normally, but obviously clicking on here, you can call it whatever you like. Name of your boat. And now at the moment, boat type, it says other. If you go click on that, it says sailing, power, paddlecraft, ferry, ship, other. I'm assured that within the next update in a few weeks time, that there will be an option to put in narrowboat and widebeam. But at the moment, obviously, we're under other. And then you can put in as much or as little information as you want. Make and model of the boat, whether you want everything in feet or inches or meters. So there's the length of our boat, the beam, draft, year launched, home port, call sign. If you've got radio, then you might want to input your call sign for there. For those that can read the phonetic alphabet, you might understand that Tango Hotel Echo Bravo Oscar Alpha Tango spells out the boat. There you go. And obviously you can put in a picture and scroll down, and it will give you a dot for where you are. So I've done all that. Go back, and who can see my details? Well, you've got a choice of everyone, so you can be found by everyone, or your friends only. Talking of friends, the next menu item is friends list on here. So track me. This can be sent to anybody. You can click on share your location, and you can send that a bit like you can do with Google Maps. I don't know if you've used Google Maps, but there is a share my map or share my route. So we've done that quite a few times with our daughter. So when she's left here and on the way home, we can see, and if she gets caught in a traffic jam, I can give her some instructions about where the traffic jam is and some alternative route that she can take. Similar sort of thing with this. If you share your location, somebody who hasn't got NEBO will be able to see where you are. So there we go. the next thing, of course, is to find some friends, because the other useful facility is to be able to keep in touch with your friends who presumably are boat owners, and so you can meet up and you'll know how far away they are. So you can go, oh look, you're not far away from me, I'll get the kettle on. You can search for people who may already be on NEBO, which is the search bar here on the left. You can find your friends on Facebook, or you can find your friends who are contacts in your phone. So search NEBO, so it says find friends who are already using NEBO, and if I type in here, who do I know? I can't remember now. I know Mark. Sorry mate, I'll use you. Mark, where are you? Well, there's a few Marks actually, so I could actually ask any of these to be my friend. You never know, one or two of them might say, go on then. And then again, one or two of them might say, sod off, Tony. But if you recognise that person, did we recognise Mark Olsen, for instance? Then we can click over here and go request friendship. If he accepts, then the two of you are friends, and you can chat and share each other's location. I can obviously block users, and I can share NEBO with other friends, so that gives them a link where they can download the app. So once you've done all that, you want to sort out your settings. Do you want to automatically stop voyages? I'd rather do it manually. If you've got the NEBO link gizmo, which I'll explain later, you would set that up. Battery saving mode, which means it's not running all the time with the camera not with the camera, but your phone's not running all the time with the screen going. That's what I meant. So it will save your batteries. And then some options about how you like your distances measured, knots, kilometers, miles per hour, that sort of thing. Once you've done that, there we go, and there's a little bit about NEBO. That links to the website, some FAQs, frequently asked questions, there's some tutorials, and there's some videos, and that's about it as far as that's concerned. Oh, I can add a passenger. Oh, that's a point. Yes, please. Let's add a passenger. Let's add Jan, shall we? We better add Jan. No, I'm going to leave her. So we've added Jan there. Done. So there we go. People on the boat, 2. There we go. So if we go missing, somebody's looking for 2 people. That's lucky. And it comes up here, look, you see. Skipper, me, crew, guests, Jan. I should be able to put the first mate, shouldn't I? Shouldn't I be able to put that first mate? Right. And then we can start. And obviously we're not going to start because we're not going anywhere. So we'll cancel that. What we can do, though, of course, is we can look for other boats. Now, I happen to know Mark and Zach are not far away. So it's called the Last Derbyshire Miner. There we go. See, it's come up. You'll have to ask him why it's called the Last Derbyshire Miner. If I click on this, hopefully, fingers crossed, the software will take me to his exact location. No hiding, Mark. And there he is, look. He's there. Tells you about his boat, just to make sure you've got the right person. There's a photograph, little picture of his boat. Obviously it is because it's Mark and Zach. He's at anchor. Well, obviously it's not an anchor on the canal, but you know, he's moored up. So the other thing that will add some extra benefit to you is logs of your cruises, and they look like this when you go to feed. You'll also get them emailed to you. And if I look at Wednesday, oh look, here we go. Here's our little expedition when we came back from Hawkesbury Junction. Oops, having gone to the Windy Knoll. Have a look up here. But yeah, you can see we left at 10:44 and we arrived back at Brinklow at 14:37. Now these logs are very important because not only do they show you the time and location of where you've been, but they act as a digital record of your boat movements. So if a friendly person from Canal and River Trust says, well, I think you overstayed in this particular location, you can go, oh no, Officer CRT, I was actually on the move at the time, and email them this to you, and you've got proof that you were indeed moving. Nice little thing to have up your sleeve, isn't it? But as I say, you can use something called this, which is the little gizmo that you wire into your ignition, and this will start the moment you start moving, and it will stop when you stop moving, so you don't need to actually start it manually like you do on the app. Handy little gizmo. You do have to pay for that, and also it's got a SIM card in it which you have to pay a monthly subscription for. And just so you know, by the way, I haven't been paid. We haven't received any money or any financial inducements to produce this particular vlog and review. It's all been done. Well, we've been in touch with Stephen for quite a while. A friend of ours knew of him and had heard of the app, and they want to get into the UK market. And we said, have you thought about narrowboats? And that is something that they're doing. Hopefully, we should be able to have a chat with Stephen shortly. Okay, Stephen, make me jealous. How hot is it there?
In Celsius?
Well, yeah.
37 degrees, 40 degrees. It's not pleasant, though.
So that's in the 80s?
98.6.
Oh.
And it's humid. So you make me jealous. What's it like where you are?
Wet and windy, about 8 degrees.
Sounds lovely.
Can you briefly explain how you came upon NEBO and why it's called NEBO?
Oh, well, why it's called NEBO, it's, I guess, a bit of a play on words. We wanted something that was easy to remember, I guess, a bit like Google. So NEBO is like Neo for new and with a B for boating. So, it's a new way of boating, I guess, at least recording your experiences on the water. So that's the name. I guess the idea behind NEBO came about when I was sitting on the back of our boat here in Perth, Australia, lamenting the fact that I'd mislaid my logbook again. And I had several because I kept starting one, losing it, starting it, and everything like that. And once you've got a gap in it, is it worth continuing? I wanted an automated way of recording logs, and I'm from a geospatial and geoscience background. So I came up with an idea of automating voyage logging through apps and tracking devices, but with some secret sauce behind the scenes, I guess, which is a whole library of destinations. So when a boat arrives somewhere, we record the fact that it's arrived and it's passed under this bridge. So that's a way of getting some detailed logs going. So yeah, that's the idea. So I wanted to replace paper logs wherever possible. And I guess after we did that, we realised, wow, it's a great way for people to communicate and keep in touch on the water as well, because if you want to, you can allow your boat location to be seen and people can message each other.
Yeah, so that you can determine your own sort of security in that sense, can't you?
Yeah, it's really important because sometimes people just don't want to be seen. I think it's important to be seen on the water from a safety and a social aspect, really. But if you want to, you can just say, no, I don't want to be seen. We still show on NEBO that there's a boat there, but we hide all the details about who it is and what the name of the boat is. Yeah.
Give me a few examples of the sort of benefits of NEBO. Things are slightly different here in the UK because obviously we've got these things called canals. Has that caused you any significant problems in terms of mapping and things like that?
What we've done in terms of what we call them is geofences, which is the secret sauce, I guess, behind the scenes. So they're polygons around marinas and headlands, lines off headlands and things like that. And we've put in place, many tens of thousands of them around the world. For the canals, what we've done is digitised or constructed those geofences around all the marinas we can find, all the winding holes we can find, many of the bridges. So we've got that as a base ready to go now when people go out take their narrowboats out on the canals. I think there will be more, and I'm sure, well, hopefully you'll get out there and give us some feedback as well, Tony, about, maybe it's important to know that we've pulled up next to a pub or something like that. So that sort of, or maybe it's important no one knows. So we're very keen to get NEBO out onto the canals and get that sort of feedback from the community on the what sort of spatial locations we should be recording for people's logs. Probably important when we get a sec, Tony, to have a look at the logs so people see what.
Have you got any logs that you can show us?
I've got some here. Now, some will be narrowboats and some won't. In fact, some. Can you see that screen there?
Yeah. I can see that.
I'll enlarge it. Now, this one shows, on the left here, shows a daily log of a boat in Florida. And you can see the track and its speeds. Right. You can see here that it says started voyage at Coconut Grove Sailing Club. Yeah. Departed, arrived at a certain location. So that's what I mean by building up a detailed log of voyages. And that gets emailed automatically at the end of each day. This is what people see when they're using NEBO. Yeah. This is up a waterway here in Australia. These are clusters of NEBO users in the United States. So there's quite a lot over there. And these ones here, I think will hopefully be very much like the narrowboat community in the UK. These are people on the Great Loop. It's a 1-year type bucket list trip down from the Great Lakes down the Mississippi and around the tip of Florida and up again. And everyone keeps in contact on NEBO. They're all NEBO friends. They can chat to each other to help each other about, what's happening down the river. And I suspect that will be important on the canals as well. Here you can see, this is me here in Perth chatting to someone about what's happening over at Rottnest Island, which is the local destination here in Perth. Just using NEBO to send photos. This is a boat going around the north of Scotland. It's a sailing boat. This is a monthly report or part of a monthly report summarising their boat usage.
So once you've started your journey in the morning, say, and then finished in the afternoon, NEBO will then automatically keep that log and email it to you, but you can also combine your continued journey. So for instance, certainly on the canals, it can take you several days to get to your location. And people go out. We have leisure cruisers who go out, leisure boaters who just go out in the summer for 4 months. So they might be in a marina for the winter, and they'll go out for a spring cruise, a summer cruise, an autumn cruise. So I'm assuming that this has the ability to combine all of those daily cruises and put them into a complete log for the entire month, so that you can, we've got a planner here called Canal Plan AC, where you can chart your route beforehand, and it gives you very rough estimates of how long it will take you to get from A to B. But I'm assuming that at the end of all of this, that NEBO will be able to give you the definitive of how long your journey's actually taken you.
This is, Tony, is exactly a report exactly as you were describing over a particular period. So this is a boat doing the Great Loop in the US. So you can see that there's been some activity up here in Lake Michigan. They went around the edge and then they've come down the river system, taken a side trip, probably come back again, and then down here, and they've ended up in Jacksonville. And that's all over the period specified there. Now, we're just implementing this and making it available to users now. At the moment, it can only be generated by us in the admin system, but we're just working out the best way to do it. We'll probably make it available only to people that have the NEBO Link device on their boat, because we make sure then that every voyage is recorded. So as well as the free app, there's a NEBO Link device, which isn't free. We've got lots of these people in the US are using that device now. It's proven to be very successful, very robust, and I think reasonably low cost.
The device is £90 plus VAT, so it's 108.
That's it.
And then there's a monthly subscription for the SIM card, because obviously it's got a SIM card in it, which is £9 a month.
That's it. Yeah.
So yeah, it is quite low cost, because I mean for a SIM card it costs significantly more than that.
Well,
and presumably that's to send the data over over a network.
Yeah, so that covers all the costs plus all the reporting that we have to do in the background and the management of the voyages, things like that.
Yeah.
So as well as NEBO, the NEBO Link device starting and stopping voyages, it does a couple of other things that could be quite useful for narrowboaters, and some that hopefully won't be useful, and that one's a capsize alert, but I don't think narrowboats tend to capsize, Tony?
No, they just sink.
Yeah, okay. Oh, we should put a water detection sensor on.
Yeah.
One thing that could be useful is that it monitors the boat's battery bank. Whichever one you connect it to, it will be able to report the voltage of that. So that might be something that you use during winter. Some people may want to know that the batteries have stayed charged. And of course, it also sends you an alert when the boat moves.
Right.
So if you want to, you can be alerted. If you're away from the vessel and it moves, you'll get an alert. As soon as the boat moves, we can get an alert, and we're actually sort of formalising that, I guess, into an anchor alarm, which I think would be precisely the same thing. So you'll download a polygon effectively to the device. That'll just happen automatically when you say, I want to go into anchor alarm mode. And then if the boat departs that polygon, which might be, say, a 50-metre radius, all hell will break loose. Well,
right, okay. Because well, I was just going to say, Stephen, because of the weather at the moment, you know, and we're moored up in a marina, the boat does move a little bit. So, yeah, I could imagine you wouldn't want an alarm going off all the time. But if you can define an area around the boat, if that's what you're saying, then you can say, if the boat then deviates out of that area, then it will fire up an alarm.
That's exactly right. Yep. So jiggling up and down, even moving a metre or something with the tide or something like that wouldn't set that off. In terms of narrowboats, it's not a world that we completely understand. So we're very keen to get into get feedback from the community and yourself, Tony, and very keen to add features that would be useful. I think you mentioned hooking into you have a number of times the closure notifications.
Thank you, Stephen, for joining me today from Australia. I hope we haven't kept you up. I know it's early in the morning here. Thanks for talking to me, and thanks for sharing, all things NEBO.
Oh, no, thank you, Tony, and hopefully it's useful information for people to consider using NEBO on the canals.
Well, that was a lovely early morning chat with Stephen, wasn't it?
Yes, thank you. Was it 8 o'clock or something?
8 o'clock here.
Our time.
4 o'clock over there.
4 o'clock when? In the afternoon or the morning?
In the afternoon.
Oh, God, I thought you got up at 4.
No, I got up early. Well, say early. I know some of you lot get up even earlier than that. Bless you. And as he said, quite rightly, NEBO is not just about the technical aspect of, your boat logs and things like that. You use it quite a lot for something else.
If it was, I wouldn't be able to use it at all.
Yeah.
No, I use it because when we're cruising, and I can look down and I can put the name of the boat in, or it automatically comes up, and I can meet up with friends who are on the cut for coffee and cake.
Yeah.
Which we did with a couple of friends. Mind you, I didn't know about that. You planned it. Yeah. And we came under the bridge and he said to me, just watch out on the right, see who's moored up. And I'm like, we haven't been this way. How does he know? He'd been on NEBO. And there were our friends. Yeah. On Momentous again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. And yes, as you're moving, obviously it tracks your movements. We couldn't show that because obviously we're not moving and none of our friends are moving. In fact, very few people are moving at the moment. But yes, it will track in real time. Obviously there's a bit of a time delay while the GPS satellites catch up, but essentially you can see how far somebody's away, so you can gauge at what point to put the kettle on, or pour the drinks, or open the wine. Anyway, just a quick announcement. Fantastic, as we said at the top, all you new subscribers, we're now moving towards a particular goal. Ooh!
What, 10,000?
No, let's bring our expectations down a little, please, Janet.
I can hope.
But we are aiming towards. I was going to say 4,000, but let's be optimistic.
Let's go up.
Let's go to 5,000, shall we? And I'll tell you what we'll do to I can't even say it. To reward your loyalty and to reward your following and subscriptions. When we get to 5,000 subscribers, we're going to do a giveaway. A free to enter giveaway.
Ooh.
So all you'll need to do is to fill some details in, basically just your name and a contact detail, and that's it. It'll be free to enter. We'll be giving away some stuff. There's a couple of books, narrowboating books. So if you're new to narrowboating, you might like, or even established boating, because there's a maintenance book involved, and more importantly, there's some merch that we're giving away because we've launched a couple of new merch lines. So narrowboaters do it slowly.
I think they're really good.
Yeah.
I like them.
Have a look at our merch store, link somewhere or other, or wherever it is. But we'll be giving away some of that and a couple of narrowboating books once we hit 5,000 subscribers. So there we go. There we go.
And I'll probably faint.
There's a challenge for you, everybody. Anyway, as usual, if you've enjoyed this vlog and learnt something new, certainly about NEBO, then thumbs up for a like. Don't forget to put some comments down below, especially if you've downloaded NEBO and are using it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's free, and there's something to give away at 5,000. Hey! And then don't forget to press the bell icon.
Ding!
Thank you, Janet. And YouTube will notify you next time we upload a vlog. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
For everything you're doing. We truly love every single one of you. Hope to see you again next time. In the meantime, stay safe, everybody. Take care. Happy cruising when you can. Bye for now.
Bye.